today. When you start to make cards and other paper crafts, one of the most basic tools you want to have in your collection is a bone folder. Now, you see me use this all the time in my projects, but I just wanted to take a minute to talk a little bit about this really handy tool and share a few tips for using it. So let's talk quickly about what a bone folder is and how to use it, and then I want to share some quick tips that I've discovered for making it work a little bit more effectively, and if you don't have a bone folder on hand, some substitutes for what you can use instead. So I've heard this called a lot of different things: paper creaser, scorer, paper folding tool, and yes, even that boner thing. But regardless of what you call it, it is a tool for folding and creasing paper. So as you can see, it's long and narrow, it is flattened, and it has rounded edges. And the rounded edges are what you'll use to give a nice crisp crease or fold to your paper. So there's a few ways you can use this. First, we'll look at using it if you only have a ruler on hand, and then we'll look at using it if you have a trimmer or a scoring tool as well. So I am going to line this up on my mat here, and I have my measurements figured out. So I'm going to line up my ruler right here. If you are doing this at home, you can measure to find your center point and do it that way. So I'll score right along here. And basically, I am just giving a good press as I move it down from the top to the bottom. So as a result, now you can see that score line in the center of the paper. Now let me show you how to do this on a couple of other tools quickly, and then we'll look at how to fold it once you have your score line. So this is the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. It does have a scoring tool on it, but at times you may want to do some things that will work a little bit better in this way. So you can actually use your bone folder and line it up with where that blade runs through, the cutting track right here, and score that way as well. So that's how you can use this with a trimmer. Now, one of my favorite tools is our scoring board. And when I am making 3D creations with lots of score lines and lots of folding, this is my go-to tool for doing that. So you can also use the bone folder on this, which you often see me do. Now this tool comes with a stylus tool, but I find that I prefer using the bone folder. I think it stays in the groove a little bit easier than the stylus tool that comes with the scoring board. Okay, now that we have our score lines created, let's look at how to fold them. So I have always told people, if someone asks which way you're supposed to fold it, towards the groove or towards the bump, which is on the back side. And I don't get too worked up about this because you know what? There's no wrong way to paper craft. Don't get stuck in the details. But I have discovered that if you fold it towards the bump side, you actually can get a little bit nicer lay to your card with a little bit less work. So fold it towards that bump and use the flat edge of your bone folder to run along there. And look how nice and flat that lays. Now, if I was going to do this just by hand, as a comparison, that's what I get as a result. So this one is laying perfectly flat. This one obviously is not. Now, if you choose not to score your cardstock beforehand, which honestly, a lot of times I don't. I always do for my classes. I try to provide good service for those who like to have that score line. But for the most part, I do not score mine ahead of time. So I just line up the corners, get it started, and burnish it the same way as you just saw. Okay, and I get a really good result that way as well. Now quickly, sometimes you're traveling or maybe you don't have one of these in your collection yet and you want something to get a nice good crease to your card without using this. So here are a couple of substitutes. Now this one may not be the best one, but I have been known to use my fingernail in some cases. You can try that. You can use a stamping block and get a pretty good result. I have used an ink pad before, whatever you have on hand that has a nice flat edge can help you get a nice crease to your card as well. So thanks for joining in today. I hope this helped you learn a little bit about the bone folder. If you don't have one of these in your collection, it's definitely something you'll want to get at some point. You can find a link in the video description below to order one of these yourself. You can also find links to my blog where I share tons of ideas and inspiration for your paper crafting projects. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and make sure you join me again next time when I'll be back helping you to hand make with love.